At any one time in Africa, there is some country at war with itself or a neighbor. The easy availability and illicit circulation of small arms and light weapons and ammunition is detrimental to the continent's peace, stability, and prosperity. Armed violence and conflict lead to more than 500,000 deaths each year, and millions are displaced and abused. In 2020 alone, more than 1,700 distinct events of political violence were recorded. Ongoing political instability limits prospects and increases vulnerable situations. Too few opportunities for young people leads to desperation or anger. Political extremism is on the rise. It's a complex situation that requires bold moves to put people before guns. In Africa today, close to 80% of all small arms are in the hands of civilians. The African Union equates the impact of small arms and light weapons, such as AK-47s, to conventional and nuclear weapons. This is why small arms and light weapons are part of the UN Arms Trade Treaty. Gun violence is an epidemic, and the threat of unplanned explosions at ammunition sites is a ticking time bomb wherever arms or ammunition caches are stored. Armed conflict remains one of the main drivers of illicit arms proliferation, with multiple related challenges. Failures in the sustainability of disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration programming has contributed to cycles of failed security sector reform. Ex-combatants with no jobs relapse into conflict. The link between corruption and illicit arm flows is well documented. It's a bitter fact that the biggest source of weapons moving into civilians' hands come from the government stocks, sold by corrupt officials on the inside. The crime is transnational. There is a constant inflow of illegal arms from outside Africa. Many of these arms get diverted from government stockpiles. Multi-sectoral programs are needed to address the challenges. To give up their arms, African citizens need stability. They need governments they can trust with their safety, security, and economy.
For me, I see silencing the guns in two ways. As the physical dropping of the guns, which is very important, but I believe that we must also focus on development to offering alternative livelihoods. Let us invest in our people to be able to silence the guns.
In 2017, the African Union launched an initiative to silence the guns in Africa by 2020. While silencing the guns has the best intentions, it has not made much progress. The deadline has come and gone, and now a new target date has been set for 2030. Without better implementation and accountability of Africa's nations, the guns of Africa will not fall silent. Now is the time to disarm and choose people, not guns.
The key messages are: 1. Accountability for government stockpiles. Every government should ensure proper security of their national stockpiles, that the weapons that they are keeping do not find their way into illegal possession by civilians. Once civilians put their hands on weapons, then definitely the government loses control and track of those weapons. Same to ammunition. Secondly, member states of the African Union should encourage their citizens to voluntarily surrender weapons that they are possessing illegally. And this is an observation that should be encouraged across the continent every month of September. That is, the African Union has named African Union Amnesty Month. Thirdly, African countries should invest in ending conflict within their territories. It is through creating an atmosphere of peace and security that development would thrive and attract investors. No investor is going to invest in a continent that is infested by illicit circulation of arms and ammunition. Those are the three key areas that we should focus on as we move towards achieving Vision 2030.